The Arizona GOP is currently scrambling to do absolutely nothing about the 1864 abortion ban that is set to go into effect. Some of them are freaking out. Some of them seem quite happy to let that insane relic of a bygone era determine what rights people have. There are a few Republicans who are doing the right thing, and they worked with Democrats in the state house of Arizona to actually vote to repeal that bill. There's been several attempts to do that, and it finally succeeded thanks to the Democrats as well as 3 Republicans. GOP representatives Timothy Dunn, Matt Gress, and Justin Wilmeth were Republicans that came together with Democrats to have that repeal happen. Now, that doesn't mean that it's been repealed. It still needs to pass the state Senate, and it needs to be signed by the governor. The governor, who's a Democrat, says that she will sign it, and it seems very likely that it will pass the Senate as well. But this was the most difficult step. And look, we can critique these individuals and debate why exactly they were willing to vote for the repeal. Is it because they recognize that this law should never have been allowed to go into effect? Or is it just to protect themselves because they're in districts where they have difficult reelection bids? But regardless, they did vote in the right way, and they are paying the penalty for that, being criticized and even punished by the state GOP for working with Democrats in this area.
Hey, I'm glad you're here. Listen, in order for the damage report to keep on going, we need viewers like you to become a member on YouTube. Can you click the join button on YouTube today? Thank you.
The Speaker of the Arizona House, Ben Toma, said, "We should not have rushed this bill through the legislative process. The pre-Roe law has been on the books for decades. Today, we are rushing to judgment." First of all, it has not been on the books for decades. It's been on the books for a century and a half. That is how ancient it is. And also, we're rushing to judgment to go back to the law that we had. By the way, abortions are still gonna be banned after 15 weeks. There's still a ban that 3 years ago, 4 years ago would have been considered extreme. That's what we'll be going back to. I would ask, why are we rushing to put this 1864 bill into effect? If you think that is what the law should be, you can pass it. You can write up a new version and you can pass it. What's the rush to strip people's rights away? I would say that if you're gonna be in a rush to do something when it comes to people's rights, it should be to ensure them, to guarantee them, to protect them. But they have different priorities. And by the way, just moments after the vote, it went beyond just criticism. The House Speaker pro temp, Travis Grantham, announced that Gress, one of the 3, would be stripped of his seat on the House Appropriations Committee. Appropriations committees are important committees. Gress notably voted with Democrats in all 3 of the attempts to repeal the anti-abortion law. All 3 of them were publicly condemned by members of the caucus. It seems like Gress is the one who suffered the biggest actual consequence. He's being taken off of a committee. Think about how rarely that happens. And what is the crime that Gress committed? He voted in favor of his constituents. Arizonans in general, just like people around the country, do not support this bill. They want it overturned. He did what his constituents want, and he's being punished. And now I know some Republicans wanted this to be repealed because they don't want it to be a campaign issue. Well, I don't know. The fact that the Republicans are now doing a crusade against their own members who helped repeal it, I feel like that could probably be involved in some sort of campaign ad, but I leave it to the Arizona Democrats. In any event, Matt Gress, that individual, said, "I refuse to buy into the false notion pushed by the extremes on both sides of this issue that we cannot respect and protect women and defend new life at the same time." So, don't get ahead of yourself and assume that Matt Gress is gonna vote to make abortions free as they were for decades or anything like that. Again, the law will still ban you at 15 weeks, but at least in this case did the right thing. Now, we will see with the Senate, they're conducting a read of the abortion ban or abortion ban repeal there. We're gonna see what ends up happening with this. And much more importantly, there's of course going to be the Arizona ballot measure to hopefully enshrine the rights to the abortion, to an abortion in that state's constitution. So we'll see if that succeeds. Members make a difference here at TYT. You help make the show happen, and we see you in the chat with your loyalty badge. Click the join button to become a member today.